Okay, so before we begin, if you don't have a pen and paper nearby, I suggest you go and get one now, because I'm very big on making notes, and it's something that will definitely help you out a lot when receiving information and letting it sit within your mind. So if you don't have a pen or paper nearby, I suggest you pause and you go and get one right now. So first things first, you need to acknowledge and understand and become aware of the reason of why you're far from God, and just acknowledging that you are far from God, because that's ultimately what you need to come to. This is something that we tend to miss because we just immediately want things to be fixed. We want things to be correct right away. But how can anyone solve a problem without understanding what the problem is? So by understanding and analyzing why you're so distant from God, you'll be able to realize where you're standing at the current moment. Next, you just need to understand that you're weak. As human beings, we fall short all the time. In the Bible, it says that we all fall short to sin. And it might not be all the time, but it will happen because we aren't perfect and limitless like God. We need to realize that we are weak. And once we dwell on this more, once we let that sit in our minds more, that we are weak, the more we'll begin to see how much we need God in our lives. You also just need to consider the fact that if the thing that's keeping you away from God, you just need to understand that there's no reason to fight. If you can't win this battle on your own as you are, then no one else is going to win it for you except for God. You need to realize that this isn't a battle that I can fight alone, and you need to have God in your corner. Next is just take the first step. God is always waiting on his throne, waiting for his children to come to him whenever they're in trouble, whenever they're in times of trouble and in need. He's always ready to answer your prayers. He's always ready to help you, to aid you, to be there, to be the guiding hand in your life. You just need to take the first step. Yes, you might feel like you can't approach him right away because you feel this distance, and you might feel like God might be upset with you, but that's not who God is. If we are thinking that way, we're trying to paint God in a light that he is not. And therefore, it means that it's sort of a reflection of how we don't truly know who God is in our own hearts. So we just need to come to the understanding that God is always ready to forgive us. God is always ready to take us in once we've been away and we've been made dirty by sin and we've been in the clutches of the devil. He's always ready to welcome us back, just like the story of the prodigal son. The son went away, but when he came back, his father welcomed him with open arms. He wasn't rebuking him or anything. He welcomed him back with open arms, and that's exactly how God is. So and this is something else, this is just, I guess, an extra tip. If you can't speak to God, or if you can't find the strength to muster any words, I suggest that you write things down. Writing things down has been the best thing that has worked for me, because there are times when I just don't feel like speaking because I feel so heavy that I can't even speak. So what I do instead is I write, because I can not only see my thoughts, but I can also understand where I'm at right on paper. So I suggest that if you are in a position where you can't speak, I suggest that you write down how you're feeling, and you're basically like writing a letter to God. Even if you can't pray, just write it down, because it is still a way of communicating. God sees everything. And that's only if you can't speak. Don't use it as an excuse to not pray or to just not speak to God, because anyone can get away with that. So this is if you're at your weakest. And that's just what I suggest to those who just need somewhat of a guidance to come back to God. It's nothing too extreme. You don't have to go through great lengths. It's not that difficult. I hope that your journey with God continues to grow stronger. I pray that the next time you're going through trouble, you remember everything that I've said, or if you've heard any better tips, I suggest if you want to, you can leave those in the comments for those who might watch this video. But I appreciate you sticking around. Make sure to subscribe if you want more Christian content and animated content, because I will be doing that too. And yeah, stay blessed. May the Lord be with you all. Amen.